Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out with your questions, pricing, accessories, condition, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. And today we're discussing a model launched in 2019 in 400 pieces. This is the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore Camouflage 44mm chronograph with a combination of stainless steel and blue ceramic case fabrication. It is an exuberant limited edition, colorful, summery, and seasonally appropriate. The timepiece is large at 44mm in diameter and 14.4 millimeters thick. From lug to lug across the wrist, it's 55.5 millimeters. If you include the end links, the absolute distance across the wrist is a beefy 59 millimeters. We will zoom out a little bit, throw it on my wrist, 16 centimeters in circumference, and get a sense of how it wears. Honestly, I would not wear it on a wrist smaller than mine. 16 centimeters circumference needs to be viewed as the lowest possible wrist size that could wear this watch without proportional issues and perhaps fit issues. You can see that it's not as thick as you might expect, and it might even fit underneath the jacket cuff thanks to the sloped bezel, but it is broad. Handsome though, and substantial. It feels expensive. It has that intangible quality of being quite stout on the wrist and in the hand. Now, there were two versions of this watch, one with a green camouflage pattern, one with blue. The blue one features a strap built to match that is model specific. You can see it has a lovely frosted finishing on its top, strakes that visually continue the profiles of the intermediate plots. There's a little bit of a bevel alongside. You can see on the shoulder of the strap that matches the bevel on the shoulder of the case. You can see the strap is held to the watch using screws and bars, which is a far more secure and upscale attachment method than spring bars. And then we have a simple, easy to adjust acier inoxydable stainless steel AP pin buckle. The case, as well as the ceramic, all finished using traditional techniques, held in place and milled against a wheel. We have this lovely diminishing bevel that thins out at the mid case and expands over the lug hoods. Beautifully faceted case side. You can see that the lines of the ceramic bezel continue through the case and even into the case back. A lovely satin brushed finish. Note that the bezel gasket is fully expressed here as a styling feature of the watch. The edge of the bezel features a very narrow satin finished ring, and then the outer portion is primarily polished, and you can see it's rounded off, a rounded off octagon inspired by a vintage diving helmet, and that was the case when the first one, designed by Gerald Genta, came out in 1992. 21 years later, the Royal Oak Offshore, designed by Emmanuel Guet, came to market and carried over many styling cues from the original Royal Oak. You can see it's satinated on its top, polished on its side, and that scratch-resistant blue ceramic bezel has these perfectly aligned steel hexagonal bolts, again a nod to the Royal Oak, and a hexagonal ceramic shoulder on the crown, as well as ceramic caps for the chronograph pushers. You can see the crown guard structure is elaborate and modular, so if you do gouge these shoulders, they can be removed by removing the hex screws and replaced during service. The dial has excellent depth. Outboard, there's a tachymeter scale, base 1000, used for gauging the speed of things moving relatively quickly, or I should say fast. And then we have these applique cantilevered, rhodium-plated, polished hour indices, polished hands at center, sunken sub-registers, each with polished chapter rings, and a gloss blue Mega Tapisserie dial. It is the big hobnail, or I should say the biggest hobnail offered among the hobnail tapisserie dials at Audemars Piguet. We have a sunken date with a date magnifier, and the watch includes an applique AP logo. Let's just make sure we're not in the date change danger zone there. As you can see, the watch features a hacking or stop seconds function. It also features a quick set, so you can rapidly cycle the date, and there is a magnifier underneath the dial. Screw down crown, 100-meter water resistance. We also have a Dubois de Praz vertical clutch chronograph module. So thanks to the vertical clutch, when you start the chronograph, it starts without any jump or stagger, as there is no play in a vertical clutch system. Flip it all over, you can see Audemars Piguet manufacture base caliber 3126, 59 jewels, 365 parts all told, bidirectional automatic winding with unlubricated hyper-efficient ceramic bearings. It beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour and has a 50 to 55 hour power reserve. For durability, it's built relatively thick and solid, and you can see it has a Gyromax style free sprung balance for shock tolerance and precise adjustment, and then a full dual anchored batwing motif balance bridge. to better brace the movement against shock, it uses a flat hairspring and an enormous balance with those variable inertia bolts on the rim. Those are used to make all the adjustments. The movement is a handsome combination of hand finishing and mechanical finishing, executed in-house by Audemars Piguet, and as you can see, this is a limited edition of 400 pieces. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. Back with the Royal Oak Offshore by night.